Hello everyone, Brian Lebo here, thanking you for tuning into this month's market update video. Today, I'm going to go over the inventory levels, notice of default numbers, and share with you a couple of stories that occurred this month. As always, let's take a quick look at this month's inventory levels. Okay, as you can see now on the screen, we started the month with 3,474 homes on the market. 3 out of the 4 weeks, we saw declines in inventory. Overall, we ran another deficit this month of exactly 300 homes. This equates to about a 9% drop in inventory overall for the month of February. As we all know, the lack of inventory is what has been fueling this massive appreciation in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, we are still continuing to lose inventory, and we are already at critically low levels. To give you a better idea, back when I was complaining 5 months ago in October, we had about 4,100 homes on the market. Since then, we have lost 24% of our inventory. 24%. Real quick, let's check out what the inventory breakdown actually looks like. Of the current inventory as of today's shoot, there are only 329 foreclosures on the market. Come on, right there, you know something is wrong when there's 50,000 vacant homes in Vegas and only 329 foreclosures? Next, and highly disturbing, are the short sales at only 15%. There's an estimated 74,000 people behind on their mortgage, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Yet, only 468 people willing to short sell? Why is this, you ask? Because once people wrap their head around not paying their mortgage, they tend to embrace the liberty that comes from living in their home for free. With no threat to foreclose, why would they seek a short sale until they absolutely have to? Now, last is amazing. 75% of homes on the MLS are supposed traditional sales. Realistically, these are smart sellers who are cashing out while the market is favorable and investors who bought low and are selling high. Talk about changing times. Prior to AB2A4, traditional sales were only about 10% of the market. Okay, so since the present market is terrible, how does the future look? As you know, I check the notice of default list every single day since notice of defaults are our indicator of future foreclosures and thus fresh inventory down the road. So let's take a look. As you can see, February ended with 1,469 NODs. Ironically, January had 1,465 NODs. So it's been worse, but considering we should be more like 4,000, we're still way behind. So what do these numbers actually mean for the market? Well, as I predicted going into the year, I said that we would continue to see a lack of inventory this year and prices would rise about 10%. I was being conservative with that number, and from what I'm seeing out there, I think it's fair to say that most likely we are going to see another 20% year ahead of us. You see, it's a simple supply and demand. We have a ton of demand from buyers who want to actually live in homes, as well as investors and major hedge funds who simply want to capitalize on 20% appreciation, low interest rates, and generous rental returns. On the other side, we have no inventory. The simple economic result is prices increase in order to lower that demand. While fundamentally this is great, the reality is that the more prices continue to go up in Las Vegas, buyers become more motivated and desperate. It was only 10 years ago that Las Vegas was suffering, or should I say prospering, depending on how you look at it. I'm going to share 2 quick stories with you to illustrate how absurd this market is right now. Last week, I listed a foreclosure for $86,000. Now, this home was in terrible condition. Exposed electrical wires, a non-functioning pool with plumbing nightmares, and a separated concrete surrounding. I mean, you name it, this house had those issues. I estimated the repairs to this home at about $25,000. Now, If this home were in the right condition, it would be worth about $125,000. Well, guess what? I listed it for $86,000, and when the final bell rung, I had 41 offers. 39 were cash, and 9 of those cash offers were from LLCs. You know what it went for? It went for $131,000. This home in poor condition sold for 152% of the list price. In another scenario, I was representing a buyer on a property where literally the home next door was listed for $400,000 and sold for $410,000. My client loved the house and decided to wrap up the deal and offer $435,000 on the model match that literally had just closed for $410,000 just last week. We offered cash, a 10-day closing, and $25,000 more than last week's home. Guess what? Someone apparently offered more than we did. In November, this same model sold for $335,000. So in 3 months, this neighborhood went up $100,000, or say 31%. I mean, come on. So to wrap this up, inventory dipped 9% in February. The notices of default are stable at 1,469, but are still about 1/3 of the NODs we should have. And prices, well, they're going through the roof. And it's not even close to summer yet. Nobody knows exactly what will happen next year when we eventually start to see the inventory come back, but I think it's painfully obvious that this year is going to be utterly ridiculous in terms of appreciation, since buyers are now completely desperate and very much motivated. The general consensus is, no matter what I pay today, someone will pay more than me tomorrow. So I can't lose overpaying today. Now, this is a very dangerous mentality, and one that puts us right back in the position we've been trying to dig ourselves out of for the past 6 years. That's all for this month, but feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns you have regarding real estate. Thank you again for watching, and have a great month.